Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. We are here with episode 5 and we kick off with a women's Money in the Bank qualifier with the 3 women who were not pinned in the previous qualifiers. Nikki A.S.H is out first here. And I'll just start by apologising for the last 2 episodes. There was a technical issue, completely my fault, so you didn't get commentary during those episodes. Hopefully you followed what was happening. Check out the description on the last episodes to kind of discover the implications of the matches, but that will not happen again. I know the error of my ways, and we are here for commentary for episode 5 with Nikki A.S.H coming out first. So just on the last episode we had Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler qualify on the last episode of Monday Night Raw. We had Rhea Ripley in episode 1 qualify, so they're the 3 women from Raw so far, and one of these will be the 4th, Dana Brooke. She was not pinned, so she has a second chance along with Nikki A.S.H, and the 3rd woman in this match is Liv Morgan, who was also not pinned. Just to kind of round episode, we had Escobar beat Dominic, and the story there is that Escobar is claiming to be the top luchador in WWE. This is rolled up Rey Mysterio, Dominic, Escobar got the win, and actually that means now at Money in the Bank we are going to have a 2-on-3 handicap match. The Mysterios v all 3 members of Legado del Fantasma. That is what as a match confirmed for Money in the Bank. We also had AJ Styles and The Miz qualify for Money in the Bank with their victories. And we also saw Kevin Owens beat Gulak by countout, which then we saw Lashley come down after the match and attack Owens. And match confirmed for Money in the Bank. So the Raw side of things is shaping up quite nicely. And just to, again, reiterate, the title match, the men's title match at Money in the Bank is Edge v Brock Lesnar. And the women's title match is that fatal 4-way between Carmella, Naomi, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. So a lot from the Raw side of things to look forward to. But we've got a match here to look forward to, as we've got these 3 women, none of them pinned, all of them get a second opportunity to qualify for Money in the Bank. I mean, there is still going to be one woman after the end of this match who was never pinned and will not have qualified. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And here we go as Nikki and Dana square off, and Liv takes some time out. Nikki gets Dana out of the ring straight away, goes after Liv Morgan and knocks Liv into the corner as Dana's staying on the apron, and Nikki doing all the offense early doors here. Just to say as well, later on in the episode in our main event we have got Riddle and Sheamus who go 1-on-1 for that Money in the Bank qualifier. To see who is the 4th member on the men's side to qualify. Also on this show we've got Elias and Jordan Devlin, 2 men who have yet to make their debut on Monday Night Raw. They'll go head to head, just to kind of prove themselves. We've got Carmella and Sasha Banks, who are 2 members of the women's fatal 4-way match at Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens goes 1-on-1 with Cedric Alexander, and we've also got a men's qualifier also, Ciampa and Corbin, which will bring you highlights of at the conclusion of this match as Liv is going to work on Nikki A.S.H, stamping on the ankle. Nikki's up, we're into a tie-up as Liv puts Nikki against the ropes. And Liv standing on Nikki's back. Just working on the back as Dana Brooke trying to lap up some of the crowd. Here, Liv and Dana, but Liv drops Dana down on the back of her neck. Nikki's back. I thought Liv was going for the pin there, but Dana got a kick in anyway. As Dana now grabs Liv and Nikki's in the way. Oh, and Liv in the end knocks Dana and Nikki's heads together. But Nikki throws Liv into the corner. And again, coming up for some punches as Dana Brooke standing watching. And that's been a theme so far of this match. We've seen a lot of the 3rd member standing and watching and taunting, as Dana Brooke is doing there to the crowd. As Nikki pummels Liv in the corner, as Liv rolls out of the ring. Now Nikki going to work on Dana Brooke. big opportunity here for one of these 3 women to go to Money in the Bank. And can you imagine Money in the Bank around with one of these ladies? We could see Liv, Money in the Bank, Nikki A.S.H as Money in the Bank would be interesting. And Dana Brooke, I mean, what an opportunity it would be for Dana Brooke, who, you know, would be, you would think would be towards the bottom of the women's division. But she has a chance here, and that's the thing with this universe mode. We're kicking off a brand new season, and everyone starts off on an even footing. There is no... Everyone gets a chance to qualify in the women's division, as Dana going to work on Liv's leg. And again, Nikki, again, taunting. As Dana Brooke has got a bit of control, has Nikki up, and chucks her out of the ring. Dana Brooke wants to go one-on-one with Liv. Blocks a few kicks from Liv, a couple of slaps. Go for the punch, Liv gets a block in. Nikki's coming back in. And Morgan, a spinning kind of Hurricanrana type move on Dana Brooke. She went to run into the ropes, but Dana got in the way. And Dana chucks Liv across the ring and turns towards Nikki A.S.H. Nikki though gets... Oh, Dana up. Dana reverses, hits the slap. And Dana Brooke is going for that exact same move that Liv just did to her on Nikki A.S.H. and turns to Liv as almost if to say, anything you can do, I can do better, as Liv bounces off the ropes and does the exact same move herself to Dana Brooke. Definitely some mind games here between Liv and Dana, as Liv chucks Dana Brooke into the corner. Just so, and a diving bulldog off the top rope. She's going to go for the pinfall. Nikki's outside the ring. 1, 2, and it's a kick out anyway. Nikki was back in. She may have broken up if it was needed, but Dana got out of the pinfall anyway. As Liv now has Nikki for the suplex. Oh, drops her on her face. And Liv now puts Nikki against the ropes. And her finisher, the Oblivion, is an against the ropes finish. I think that's what Liv was maybe looking to set up there as Dana got involved. And now Nikki is back in control. Oh, but Liv fighting out. She grabbed the wrist. Nikki has got reversals at the moment between these 2 women. And Nikki throws Liv across the ring. Oh, and a dive, jumping knee onto the face of Morgan. Morgan's back to her feet. Drops Nikki to the floor. Oh, I think that's an Oblivion. 1, 2. Oh, it is a 3. Dana Brooke dived in the... sorry, it's a 2 count. Dana Brooke dived back in the ring. I think Nikki got out of it anyway. And I don't know if Dana would have got there in time as we go back to this move again. This has been the story of the match, that move. Especially between Dana and Liv. Definitely something there between them 2. Nikki throws Dana over on the top right, but Liv drops Nikki to the back of her neck. Oh, I thought Liv was going to go. Yeah, Liv is going to go up top. Dana Brooke's back up though. Liv dives off and this is her spot there. As Dana Brooke, can she take advantage of a running neck breaker? Is she going to try and go for a pinfall here? She is going to go for the pinfall. Dana Brooke, 1, 2. Oh, I thought that was it. I thought Dana Brooke had done it. But she gets out. Dana Brooke isn't finished. She's setting up for the finisher. Nikki's still outside the ring. Dana Brooke has Liv up. Oh, and drops her. Is this enough? 1, 2, 3. Dana Brooke has done it. She has pinned Liv Morgan. And Dana Brooke is going to Money in the Bank. Nikki A.S.H cannot believe it. She nearly got her with the running neck breaker. In the end, hits the finisher. A little wink to the camera there. And Dana Brooke is going to Money in the Bank. And is that your next Miss Money in the Bank? Dana Brooke. What a moment for her. As we move on to highlights from earlier matches. We go here to Ciampa and Corbin, the end of this match. As Ciampa hits Corbin there. Goes for the pinfall. The US champion Ciampa, of course. This was not for the title. This is a qualifier. Corbin kicks out. And then Ciampa sets up Corbin for the fairy tale ending. Centre of the ring. Surely Corbin can't get out of this. He is out of it, Corbin, as Ciampa gets the free count, and the US champion, Tommaso Ciampa, is heading to Money in the Bank. What a start to Universe Mode for Tommaso Ciampa as he celebrates his win. Corbin staying in the ring here, and Ciampa demands to shake his hand. And Corbin shakes it, interesting, and raises Ciampa's hand. A bit of silent respect from Happy Corbin. It's not something we're used to seeing from Happy Corbin, but he shows a bit of respect as we move on now to Devlin and Elias, which has no real stakes on this match. It's just a showcase match for these two, as Devlin hit Elias there, and Devlin picks up a win on debut on Monday Night Raw, looking to establish himself on the main roster by beating Elias. Big win for Devlin, and what does his future hold in Universe Mode? He's lapping up the crowd. Big win, points to the Irish flag on his trunks as we back here towards the end of the match between Sasha Banks and Carmella. Sasha off the ropes, drags Carmella down. Again, don't forget episode 1, we saw Becky defeat Naomi pretty quickly. She hits the Banks statement and has Carmella. I mean, the ref's positioning is interesting. He is nowhere, I don't know how he's going to call this submission. He cannot see Carmella's hands as she is hanging on. She does not give up, but that might be enough for Sasha to get the free count. 1, 2, and 3. She did enough damage with the Bank statement. Carmella did not quit, but she could not answer the free count for the pinfall. And Sasha Banks, just like Becky Lynch, picks up a win in the build-up to Money in the Bank and their women's title match. And again, we see at the end of the match, Sasha demands a handshake, and not for the first time tonight. We saw this with Corbin and Ciampa. Carmella raises Sasha's hand, and what does this mean going forward? These two are competitors on the pay-per-view, but they're raising each other's hands here as we move towards the end of the match between Cedric Alexander and Kevin Owens, as Owens hits the frog splash on Alexander. Shelton at ringside, no Lashley at ringside, interestingly here. It's just Cedric with Shelton. Again, a reminder, if you've not seen the first episode yet, go back and watch it, but Cedric and Shelton are the tag team champions. So they've had a good start to Universe Mode themselves, but this is a big assignment for Cedric against the fired up Kevin Owens. Lashley attacked him after his match with Gulak last week, and Owens picks him up, stone cold stunner, or Owens stunner on Cedric, and that surely gets the free count for Owens as he picks up a win against one member of the Hurt Business. As we head towards Money in the Bank, and he's got a match with Bobby Lashley. They fought on episode 1 in that title match, in the number 1 contenders match, and it's going all the way to the pay-per-view. But we're here now with the main event, and let's determine the last member of the Money in the Bank ladder match from the men's side. So far, just to clarify, Raw, we have got AJ Styles, The Miz, and Tommaso Ciampa. Those 3 are in Money in the Bank from the Raw side. Will it be Riddle or Sheamus to join them? On the SmackDown side, we saw Seth Rollins lose to Drew in the last episode. That means Seth Rollins is in Money in the Bank. Drew goes on to face Roman for the title at Money in the Bank, but Seth and Balor, by losing those matches, enter Money in the Bank from the SmackDown side. And we also saw Damian Priest qualify by beating Sami Zayn on the last episode. And King Nakamura qualify on episode 2 by beating Pete Dunne. So that's the SmackDown side covered. That's all 4 members of the SmackDown side sorted. Priest, Balor, Seth, and Nakamura. They're the 4 from SmackDown, and we're about to find out who's the 4th from Raw. And can it be the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus? I mean, this is going to be a hard-hitting match. Oh, Sheamus hits hard, and Riddle was not adverse to some physical contact either. This is going to be some match. A match I don't think we've seen in real life, have we? We haven't seen Riddle and Sheamus collide. And I, for one, would look forward to that match if that ever came about in real life. But we're going to see it here on Universe Mode. And there is a lot at stake here. A chance to become the first Money in the Bank. Okay, they're not in the title picture. They weren't in that fatal 4-way, neither of these guys. They to face Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. But they've got a chance here to qualify for Money in the Bank and to give themselves a contract for the WWE titles. Riddle has Sheamus up and drops him with the suplex. Some strength there from Riddle as he goes up high. And Riddle is going for the moonsault. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it, but he's still up before Sheamus. Sheamus, so a couple of strikes to the stomach. Axe handle to the back of Riddle. Sheamus pummeling away on Riddle here. Kicking Riddle. So just to confirm the Raw matches for Money in the Bank, we have the Raw Women's title, the Fatal 4-Way match. We have got the WWE title between Edge and Brock. We have got the Mysterios v Legado del Fantasma in a 2-on-3 match. We've got Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley. And we've got the Money in the Bank matches. I'll run through the SmackDown side of things in the next episode, but that's what we've got from Raw for Money in the Bank. As Riddle caught by the knees of Sheamus. As we lock up again. Riddle there. Look at the strength of Riddle. Picking up Sheamus and chucking him across the ring. Sheamus is a big guy and just shows the strength of Matt Riddle. Sheamus though catches Riddle's foot and drags him to the mat. And Sheamus is going up top. Don't see this often for Sheamus as he went for the close. I missed. Oh, and Riddle. Oh, he did catch him with the moonsault off the ropes. And he's going for a submission here, Riddle. It's almost like a reverse figure 4 leg lock here from Riddle. Again, the referee's position is interesting. They never go to the face of the person being submitted. That's a little glitch in the game, I think. They need to sort that one out. But Sheamus working back on Riddle. Riddle fights back. This means so much for these two. You see Orton at ringside. He missed his chance last week. He lost to The Miz last week. So that means there's no Orton at Money in the Bank. But can the other half of RK Bro qualify? Or will RK Bro have to revert back to the tag team division? They weren't involved in the tag team title match in week 1 because they were both involved in Money in the Bank qualifiers. So they've both wanted a chance to have a little solo ride at Money in the Bank. Orton failed. Will Riddle as Sheamus wants Riddle to his feet and gets a clothesline off the top rope. High impact from Sheamus with a knee to the face. Sheamus has the fingers of Riddle. I don't think this is going to make him submit, but just inflicting damage. Riddle gets out of it though. And Riddle dives in, but Sheamus stays on his feet. And he's got Riddle up. Is this going to be a white noise from Sheamus? White noise! Centre of the ring. Is this enough to see off Matt Riddle? 1, 2. Oh, Riddle kicks out. And Sheamus, he thinks it's a slow count. He thought a white noise might be enough. It might have to hit the bro kick to see off Matt Riddle here. And Sheamus picks up Riddle into the turnbuckle and throws him across the ring. And now just pummeling on Riddle. Sheamus in control at the moment. Riddle has no answer to Sheamus as he chucks Riddle towards the corner. Stands on the foot. Of course, Riddle fights with no footwear. And it can be exploited, and Sheamus is exactly the type of wrestler to exploit it. As he keeps picking Riddle up by his neck and throwing him across the ring. Riddle is being used like a ragdoll at the moment. Sheamus strikes. Well, Riddle's fighting back though. Fair play to Riddle. He's been taken control of by Sheamus for a period, fighting back, but Sheamus went for the bro kick, missed it. Riddle avoided it. Sheamus though has Riddle up and flies him across the ring. Picks him straight back up though, Sheamus. That's not enough. Bro kick to Riddle. Not much of a run up. Is this enough for Sheamus to qualify? 1, 2, 3. Sheamus is going to Money in the Bank. and both members of RK Bro have missed their opportunity. That is it for episode 5, sorry. Episode 6 up next for SmackDown. See you then.